Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is a South African comedian and the host of the one and only Daily Show. As it says in the title, Trevor was born in a very troubling area. The book experiences his childhood and his youth in this post-apartheid South Africa, and growing up as a child who happened to have a white Swiss father and black foster mother, which at the time was very illegal.
Trevor Noah, like every South African between 1948 and 1991, grew up during apartheid, which was a system of racial segregation and white supremacy. Apartheid did not only separate black and white, but also separated different tribes of black. According to the Group Areas Act and the Immorality Act, it is forbidden by law for black, white, colored and Indian people to live in the same area or even to interact with each other. Hence why Trevor Noah's existence was deemed a crime.
We're driving in a taxi, in a minibus. You've seen them in South Africa. And the driver of the car was offended. He was a black man. And he was angry that my mother was my mother because he was like, you have been with a white man. You are a whore. And he was like, today you're going to die. And this was something that you had heard of. We knew this was always around the corner in South Africa at the time. And so my mom, and I was half asleep at the time. She said to me, hey, at the next traffic light, we're going to jump out. Because the guy wasn't stopping at any lights.
Oh, my God.
And she said, we're jumping out. And I didn't sort of hear her. And then the next thing I knew, I was out. She just opened the door, tossed me out, and my baby brother, she held him, and then she jumped out, tumbled, cocooned him perfect. Moms are just like, I don't even know how they do it. They're just like superheroes without the capes. And then she tumbled, and we got up, and then we ran together. And that was just, it's strange to say this, but that was life. You know, people were living that life at a time when South Africa was coming out of the throes of some of the most hateful period we ever lived through.
The book also gives us an idea about hierarchies within groups. So, like with status, sees particular individuals in groups having a social stand. This also implies that physical attributes make an account of social status. So look at, in the book's case, the apartheid system organized people into different ethnic groups. So the white people were seen as having a higher status. The colored people had been seen as having a lesser social status, and the black people barely had a status. So this is how the apartheid system gave a sense of hierarchies within groups.
Later on in the book, Trevor makes it known that as a colored child, he felt like an outsider in his mother's world as well as his father's. This was until apartheid was abolished, and he was forced to make a conscious decision on who his group in was. Due to the fact that he was raised in a black family, a black community, and spoke several African languages, Trevor identified himself as black. It can be argued, however, that Imbimbi, which were the black government informers who lived in Trevor's community, which Trevor mentions in chapter 2, are also an out-group, as well as Trevor's white half of the family, due to the fact that he does not identify with them. This is evident when, in school, Trevor had the option to either be friends with the white students or the black students, and he chose the black students. He even went as far as to move from Class A, which was white-dominated, to Class B, which was black-dominated. In my opinion, Trevor Noah's mother is the best character in the book. She went to great lengths to protect Trevor Noah, shown as far as throwing him out of a moving car to save his life. The woman was fearless. She was independent. She found every loophole possible to defy the apartheid regime, and successfully so.
The main characters throughout the book would be Trevor himself, Trevor's best friend, who early on we see the impact he made on Trevor's life, Trevor's mother, who sacrificed so much just to have him, Trevor's grandmother, as well as Trevor's father, who towards the end slowly works his way back into Trevor's life.
My least favorite character in the book was Trevor Noah's stepdad. He was so aggressive and so abusive. And that like brings back like so many memories of like how my friend was abused by her ex-boyfriend because he broke her hand and stuff, and that was a traumatizing thing to experience. Seeing your friend being abused by this guy, being stalked. But like within the book, he is a drunk. He just drinks and it gets very aggressive, and that happens in a lot of families when you look at it. And people don't know how to get out. They are blinded by love. The book also gives us a sense of compliance, getting to others to agree to our requests. So when the principal called Trevor into his office because the incident that occurred when his friend was caught, he complied by going to the office and sitting down. But he wasn't that compliant when it came to like saying who that person in the tape actually was. The social identity theory proposes that the more strongly individuals identify with their groups, the more bias they will show in favor of groups against salient outgroups. Look at the bus incident for Trevor Noah, which will be explained a bit later. The social identity theory proposes that in-group identification will lead to negative out-group attitudes or prejudice. In the book's case, the black Africans showed negative attitudes towards Xhosa women, as well as a Xhosa woman having sexual relations with a white man, since Trevor Noah's father is this white Dutch guy. The book also gives us a sense of conformity, group conformity, in the sense that when Trevor's mother thought that the demon was a demon in the house because of the poop incident, she told one of the neighbors, and then the whole community came together as one, and they all felt as one, and then they started singing together and chanting, which overall basically assumes that with group conformity, a particular decision or particular incident can bring a group together with conformity. So like the one person will start singing, and then the next and the next. So like and they all end up singing together. The book also gives us this idea about groupthink. When individuals think that their decisions cannot be wrong, they have to do something about it. Group members must strongly support the group's decision. So like again with the poop incident, when Trevor Noah's mother thought that she was being bewitched, or there's a case of demonism in her house, he told the community, and the community didn't like see this as something good. So then they started like singing and burning the poop. My opinion about this book is I actually enjoyed this book. Um, there wasn't actually a favorite part, but the poop incident was the best part ever. But there were some scary parts with the dogs and the cats, especially the cats. When the cats were like slaughtered and hung, that broke my heart because I love animals. With this poor dog, her back being broken by the gate, it just triggered me. Like, I felt so bad for him because like he had such a strong bond with the dog. I would highly recommend this book to anyone, not just anyone, to millennials, so they can get an understanding of how life was during apartheid. They were, because like a lot of millennials were born after the apartheid. So like this book actually opened up my eyes, and getting to understand this, you can see with your skin color says about who you are in society and where you stand. So like it's a very good read.